All right. Hi. This is Sun. Hey, what's up? Sunzy here. And welcome back to the Sunzy Corley YouTube channel. Today we have a pretty exciting keyboard build. This right here is the Idobao Id80 Smoke edition, I think. So let's take a quick look at this board. There you go. This is the Idobao Id80 Smoke edition, and let's get rid of these. It's kind of disappointing that they did not include a case for this keyboard, considering the price point. I think this board is the price for this board is around like $260, so it's a little bit disappointing that they actually did not include a case for this keyboard, even though it's actually not cheap at all. Let's adjust the camera slightly. I feel like there's a lot of reflection going on because of this brass plate. First of all, let's take this keyboard apart. We have the top of the keyboard. This keyboard is completely polycarbonate material. So here's the top. This keyboard only comes with a brass plate. It does not come in any other variant. I feel like at this price point of $260, they should include different plate options. Brass isn't bad. It's one of the more premium options, but at the same time, I know that a lot of people do not enjoy the brass plate sound. So I feel like other variants would have been appreciated, but here we are with the brass plate. So that's the only plate option you have. Next up, we have this plate foam. It's not the best plate foam I've seen. If you get foam from Stupid Fish Design, it's definitely better, but I don't think Stupid Fish Design makes foam for this keyboard. I could be wrong, but it's not too bad. I mean, it's usable, basically. This foam is usable. So there's the foam. And this is the PCB of the keyboard. Not a huge fan of this PCB, actually, to be quite honest. These screw-in stabilizers are trash. Definitely gonna have to remove them, and I'm gonna replace them with some Durock V2s. This PCB itself, there's nothing wrong with it. It's a hot swap PCB, 75%. I feel like I would have preferred a daughter board for the Type-C connection. But overall, not too bad. I feel like it could be better. It's not the best PCB I've seen, but it's a hot swap 75% PCB. It's pretty standard stuff, so nothing wrong there. Next up, we're gonna talk about this bottom part. I'm gonna take this off first. Not a huge fan of this implementation, but it is what it is. Now we're going to talk about this bottom part. It's super sturdy. It's polycarbonate material. Like, this is actual polycarbonate material. Like, this is a more premium plastic. This entire board uses a more premium plastic for the board itself. Other entry keyboards like the KBD67 Lite and I think the DZ60, they all use just a plastic, like they just use plastic, and they call it polycarbonate, and I assume it is polycarbonate. But if you actually like feel those boards in the hand, you take one and you actually feel it, it's basically plastic, not like this. This is what I considered actually polycarbonate, and it's just basically a more premium feeling plastic in the hand. So this bottom piece has like this brass weight on the bottom, which honestly I don't feel like this looks really like this brass plate. I don't think is the best brass plate I've seen, like the best way to implement a brass plate and brass weight, and I feel like it's not very aesthetic looking on the back. The only good thing it is for is that like it just adds weight, and I don't know, maybe some people enjoy adding weight, maybe some people don't, but the only good thing about this piece is that if you take it out like I am doing right now, oh, screw fell off. If you take this piece out, yeah, the only good thing about this piece is that it's actually a hidden weapon. It's not an actual, it's a hidden weapon in your hands. Like if you're being attacked, you can just like, I guess somehow, don't use the screws, but you just like take this out and just hit someone with this, and this is heavy. Let me tell you, this thing weighs like a lot, and if you hit someone actually with this, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt a lot. So I do not recommend using this on your keyboard. First of all, I don't think this looks the best. Honestly, I like the back piece looking like this. I feel like it's not the, it doesn't look that good to me. I feel like there's a better way to make the back piece look good. I'd rather just take it out, honestly. And this thing weighs a lot, so besides making your entire keyboard just a lot heavier, this back piece does not serve any other purpose. So we'll be just removing this, and we're also gonna remove all of the stabilizers on the PCB, and we'll talk about the switches and the keycaps after we modify everything a little bit. All right. Sorry, before getting into the switches and the keycaps, I almost forgot to mention, here are the pads for the gasket mount. This is a gasket mounted keyboard, so I'll just be taking these out. Yep, here are the pads for the gasket mount. Here are some of the more pads. So this is used for the upper frame. This is used for the bottom shell, basically. Then here are the screws and one cable that they give you. This is actually not bad. This isn't the worst cable that came with the keyboard that I've seen. I feel like the cable that came with the NK65 is a lot worse compared to this one. I feel like this cable actually isn't too bad at all. I feel like this is a very usable cable. Of course, you know, if you're gonna go like compare it to custom coiled cables, it's like, you know, there's no comparison there because this is for free. So here's the cable, and here are the screws. So yeah, let's check out the. So yeah, let's start building this keyboard, putting all these things together. All right, so this is the complete build of the Idobao Id80 Smoke Edition. A couple things I want to talk about this keyboard. First of all, I do not recommend you buying this keyboard at its original price. Its original price is $260, and I really cannot recommend this keyboard at that price point. Other people are gonna be like, "Wow, $260! That's like a budget entry keyboard. When you can like get this amazing board for that price." And no, it's just I really do not recommend this for the retail price of $260 for a couple reasons. One, I hate the way how they implemented this. This is like a individual piece of its own. It's not actually like normally keyboards would have like when you just clap the top and bottom together. This hole or the USB-C part would be a part of the top and bottom, and when you put it together, it would just form this hole right here. Then you can just plug it in. This gold brass gold piece right here is entirely its own thing, and so when I actually opened this up, this was loose, and you could actually hear it just rattle when you would shake this board or basically just shake it. This thing would rattle like crazy, so I had to use super glue to glue it onto the bottom piece so it wouldn't move anymore. So I do not like the way this was implemented. And then another thing about this keyboard that's really odd to me is the RGB actually. So when you plug it in, there's this okay-ish bottom RGB. They have these LED lights on the bottom that you can customize through VIA. But the top is just, it's hard to see on the camera, but the top is basically just white LED. It's just white LED. And yeah, I mean, I think I would have preferred just the PCB itself to just be an RGB PCB. I don't know why the PCB is a bottom kind of LED and then top just white LED PCB. Honestly, I feel like I would just prefer just a pure individual RGB lighting PCB. There's only white lights come out from the top. I don't know if you can see it clearly through my camera, but it's just only actually, you know what? Let me pull out one of the keycaps. Maybe that'll be more clear. Yeah, you see there's only a tiny white light shining through it. So that's the second thing that I think is a very questionable choice for them. Other than that, the actual keyboard itself is not that bad. The building experience was nothing amazing because I think every individual part that they used in this keyboard was, to me, just basically they just gave it to you, but it wasn't well thought. It's one of those things where, let me adjust. It's one of those things where they just, am I sitting? Okay, never mind. Let me adjust my camera a little. You know what? Okay, sorry about that. I had to adjust my camera a little. But what I was saying is that basically the foam they give you, the gasket mounts, the case, and PCB. Well, the stabilizers were shit, so I just threw them away. But everything they provide in this kit is something just, hey, here you go. Here we have it. Here you use it. but it's not something that they really like was well thought out and like is actually like you feel like they cared. Basically, it's something that they just like slapped in you, like they just gave it to you. They just like, oh, we have it, here you go. But it's nothing. It's something that when you actually build it together, it's like every piece itself doesn't feel like it, like they actually cared about it. So. But after you finish the build, the keyboard itself, there's nothing wrong with this board. You know, the polycarbonate, you know, the anodized polycarbonate case feels pretty nice. The the brass plate feels pretty good. So actually typing on it is pretty pleasant. One of the issues, well, not really issues, but the only option they give you is a brass plate. So what I can say is that there's not a huge difference. I mean, there's definitely a difference between brass, aluminum, and polycarbonate, but it's not as big as you would like think. It's not like, oh, this brass plate is going to be like extremely metallic, pingy, and like nothing like that. It's a little bit stiffer. Basically, when you type on it and you bottom out, you feel like it's like you hit rock bottom. Like it's just stiff. There's no flex, and that's it. But in terms of sound and everything, I mean, it's definitely different. But it's nothing that you're gonna be like, wow, this is insane kind of stuff. So yeah, the keyboard, it's pretty good, but the building experience was not. Basically, I was not very fond of the building experience, and then there was also many questionable design choices about this keyboard. So if I saw this in a store, I would have to say, because I there's no way I would recommend this keyboard for $260. I feel like for that price point, you have a lot of like better options out there. So I really would not recommend buying this keyboard for the $260 price point. I'm gonna say I actually, like, if this didn't exist and then like this PCB was just an RGB, normal RGB one, and then if all of the things that they provided were on the same quality as the KBD67 Lite, I would actually price this at $230. But since these issues exist, I'm gonna have to say around $180 would probably it. But it's also negotiable, and at the lowest, I can see this going for $150, honestly, because I just really was not impressed by this keyboard. Just really did not impress me in any kind of way, and it was just the thing that let me down the most was just the building experience, because the foam was pretty bad. The stabilizers were shit, but that was to be expected. And then, yeah, basically just every individual piece that comes with this just wasn't very high quality and just kind of affected the building experience, especially this piece right here and the PCB, the questionable PCB, design. So that's going to be the end of this keyboard build. Be sure to like and subscribe, and yeah, I'll see you guys next time with some more interesting keyboard builds. Hopefully more interesting ones than this one. This is just, I mean, it is what it is. It's just not, it just didn't really, it just didn't really surprise me that much. Alright, be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Later.